In 2021, the FBI indicted 18 NBA players for health insurance fraud, with Glenn "Big Baby" Davis being the most famous among them. Rather than
take that to mother trial. Take that to mother trial.
Accepting guilt, Davis chose to have fun with the situation, even telling his mother about it. He opted for a trial and
I never defrauded the plan, and my intentions were never to defraud the plan.
Received a sentence of 3.5 years in prison. However, Davis maintains his complete innocence, stating, "I never defrauded the plan and my intentions were never to defraud the plan." The FBI made a significant spectacle of their arrests, claiming the players committed a serious injustice and appeared proud of their actions. While many players avoided jail time, Big Baby...
Think about how I grew up, the way I grew up. My mother was on drugs majority of my life. Seeing her every day on the streets. I hate using my past for an excuse, but it has hindered me in ways, has affected me right now. And a lot of these players that are in the NBA are coming from these broken homes. You have to be accountable, but then at the same time, it's just the fact that if you have an organization like the Players Association that get paid to protect the players, let's protect the players.
He faced a 3.5-year sentence. This raises the question of whether he was unfairly targeted as an example due to his notoriety, impacting his life severely. He reportedly had no financial need for the money, having earned $30 million in his basketball career with the Boston Celtics. Davis attributes his innocence to his upbringing, explaining, "I'm in New York City, around the towering buildings and MSG, where the Knicks play." He mentioned enjoying the underdog role, particularly in a game format where players choose whether they think stats will be higher or lower. His preferred game allows for potential cash winnings. Additionally, for the new street game, where getting 11 in a row right can yield 1,000 times the money, he shares 2 picks. For tonight's Knicks game, he's going lower on Karl Anthony Towns' points, and he is also going lower on Devontae Graham's points. In the NBA, Big Baby was an undersized, out-of-shape center, so how did a player like him become famous? After winning a championship in 2008, Boston faced the Lakers again in 2010. In Game 3, LA led the series 2-1, and Kobe hit 3 consecutive three-pointers to end the third quarter. However, Big Baby stepped up, making several tough baskets. Boston was down by 2, and they needed a play for Ray Allen that Kobe disrupted. Baby went one-on-one against Lamar Odom and used a spin move to score. On the next possession, after setting a screen, he received the ball against Pau Gasol and finished again, putting Boston up by 4. Davis hustled for a steal, sprinted down the court, and completed the play with an offensive rebound and a score. He celebrated as 5'9" Nate Robinson leaped onto him, creating one of the most iconic images of the 2010s. In total, he scored 18 points in just 22 minutes, shooting 70% from the field. However, his bad boy reputation hindered his career. Davis admitted to partying after games and not taking the NBA seriously. He was filmed destroying a hotel keyboard while with the Magic in 2015 after they ran out of rooms. He clashed with Doc Rivers over being taken out of a game, which led Doc to call security to remove his own player from the floor. Faced multiple legal issues following basketball, but none compared to this scheme to defraud the NBA. Now, a former player is serving 10 years for it. In 2016, the NBA established a health care fund for former players and their families, covering treatment costs for those who played a minimum of 3 years in the league. Terrence Williams recognized a chance to exploit this system. He was a first-round pick in 2009 who didn't last in the league, yet he enlisted other lesser-known NBA veterans, Kean Dooling and Alan Anderson. In the scheme, they all enlisted dishonest doctors to create false invoices and then received cash reimbursements. One of these doctors was a dentist from Beverly Hills named Amir Wahab. The FBI discovered text conversations where they planned to escalate their scheme. Wahab, feeling slighted by not receiving his portion, threatened to halt their fake doctor appointments, which caused Terrence Williams to become furious. He exclaimed that Wahab had made thousands just to generate an invoice with a name at the top, emphasizing they couldn't pretend he was providing dental work, which wouldn't bode well with the FBI. Despite this, they had successfully scammed the NBA out of $500,000, prompting them to expand their efforts. This is where Big Baby enters. He mentioned that Alan Anderson informed him the NBA would reimburse medical visits, something Baby was unaware of. He relayed this to his chiropractor, who suggested they tally all their treatments and submit it to the NBA. Ultimately, the total scheme raked in nearly $4 million, netting these individuals $2.5 million for fabricated medical services. So, how were they caught? To confirm the necessity of treatment, the health plan sometimes demanded a letter from an external doctor, but these injuries were entirely fabricated. Began to create the phony documents, but the issue was they weren't on a doctor's letterhead. They had strange formatting, grammatical mistakes, and incorrect spellings of players' names. This was as careless as that Nigerian prince sending an email claiming he wants to share his wealth. Consequently, the NBA notified the FBI, and soon they investigated. The dentist had done 13 root canals on the very same tooth during multiple appointments. Additionally, a player named Greg Smith requested forced sedation for root canals and crowns on 8 teeth at a Beverly Hills dentist. However, the FBI looked into the Taiwanese basketball league and discovered, according to a box score, he was actually playing a game that day. This turned out to be one of the simplest cases ever. Subsequently, Big Baby was arrested along with 17 other former players and taken to court. Now, Davis states the real issue was his financial advisor, who allegedly printed all of Big Baby's medical documents on a single large page and instructed him just to sign it. Obviously, who scrutinizes what they're signing when it's that lengthy, right? Makes sense, but why did he receive 3.5 years while others got none? That Big Three chiropractor testified against Big Baby, stating he recruited him into the scheme, claiming Big Baby was fully aware they were defrauding the NBA and went along with it. Moreover, it was also his attitude. Latrell Sprewell was charged. However, the judge mentioned that he actually watched your podcast and felt you sounded genuinely remorseful, so there's no prison sentence, but Big Baby, just observe his reaction when he learned he was found guilty. It's wild. I'm going to be hitting the gym hard. I promise I'm
gonna be swole though. I swear to God, I'm about to get in so much shape. Oh God. That's the only way you can stop me from eating hamburgers is put me in jail.
I'm about to get fit. Honestly, the only way to stop me from devouring hamburgers is to lock me up. It's all a game, but soon everything began to hit home when on a podcast alongside his cousin, Big Baby stated his life decisions aren't entirely his responsibility. When I reflect on my upbringing, my mother was addicted to drugs for most of my life, and witnessing her on the streets daily. I loathe to use my past as a justification, but it has impacted me in numerous ways and continues to affect me now. Many of the NBA players also come from fractured families. While accountability is essential, it's also true that if you have a body like the Players Association, which is supposed to safeguard the players, then let's ensure the players are protected. During this interview, he attempts to justify himself, yet at the same time, he's attributing his upbringing to his current situation. I understand that perspective, but he's also pointing fingers at the Players Association for the poor choices he's made, and I'm not here to say whether I believe he's guilty. He still maintains his innocence. I'll allow you to come to your own conclusion, but overall, 18 individuals faced charges in this operation. Some received prison sentences while others did not. The most significant punishment was given to the ringleader, Terrence Williams, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Other notable figures included defensive player Tony Allen and high school icon Latrell Sprewell. Recently, a photo surfaced of Big Baby in jail, appearing to be in a minimum security facility where he just finished playing basketball. Seriously, what kind of prison features a full-sized basketball court? He's also been active on social media from behind bars. Meanwhile, NFL star Brett Favre swindled millions from Mississippi, yet he remains free. It's frustrating and highlights a double standard. Big Baby went from NBA stardom to incarceration, which is a tragic tale. Reflecting on those classic NBA moments shows how much the league has evolved, and many attribute declining ratings to an overemphasis on three-pointers. I examined potential rule changes, and while some will never see the light of day, it's certainly entertaining to consider.